Welcome to Monday Night Live and Mad Peppers, featuring the Madison County Mountaineers Coaches Corner with Larry Hellman. We would like to thank Mad Peppers and James Atkins for their generosity in hosting the show. And Coach Hellman, lots going on since the last time we've talked. It's been a couple weeks.
It's been a while.
Yeah, we had volleyball, a couple of Monday nights, and some other things happened that we couldn't have a show, but we're glad to be here tonight and glad to be after a big win this week. So first of all, while we're just talking about the Page game a little bit.
James is doing a really good job over there. They're really young right now. There were a lot of freshmen and sophomores playing, and we just kind of came out and played really well and executed well, and thought we had a good night and a good game plan. So hats off to those guys. They fought to the very end, and I think they're up and coming. They'll be pretty good the next couple of years.
So it was also, I thought it was pretty good to see a lot of the young guys getting a lot of playing time for that game.
Yeah,
I think it's really important for going forward.
Those guys are extremely important when you're running scout team or anything at practice. So it's very awesome and beneficial when they can get in and get some real live game reps.
Yeah, that was awesome. And then after that, we go to Strasburg.
Yeah, losing Wyatt the very first play of the game, that kickoff, takes a lot out of you, a lot of wind out of your sails. But I thought we did extremely well responding. We drove right down the field. We just couldn't get it in the end zone, and I think defensively we played a lot better than we had all year. And I think it was 7-0 going into half, or 14-0, 7-0. So if we capitalized on some of our opportunities, things could have gone a little differently. But I thought we played really well, and I was really proud of the guys.
Sometimes I know no loss is a good loss, but I think that game showed you that you guys could play with the upper echelon of the district. And I think, myself, you should get more out of those games like that than beating the crap out of somebody. It helps you get better as the season goes on, as it showed.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how good the Bull Run is, how tough this district is. I've been doing this a long time now, and everybody wants to spread it out and play modern football. Well, in the Bull Run, it's going to be ground and pound, and you'll see how tough you are. And
yeah,
it goes a long way.
It is a very physical district, that's for sure. Very physical district. And so that leads us up to senior night in Madison against Clark County. First half was a little lopsided.
Yeah, we came out really flat. We didn't have the best defensive game plan, and they came out and they just ran it down our throats. And thought we did a really good job adjusting at halftime. Went into the half at 42-14. The second half, we ended up beating them 28-7, so it ended up being 49-35. But we talk about losses and how you don't like to lose, but I think it really helped our kids realize, like, hey, we can play with these teams. So we had a really good second half, and I thought we it got us ready for last Friday in the first round of playoffs. So.
Yeah, well, it did make you better, that's for sure. We'll talk about the last week's game in the first round of playoffs. Number 8 seed Madison goes to number 1 seed Clark. 4-6 versus 10-0. Fourth ranked team in the state, Clark?
Yeah, 4-0.
I'm going to tell you something right now. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make the trip. But after watching it on tape a couple times, I've never seen a Madison team dominate the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball like that for a long, long time. I mean, it was complete domination.
Yeah, we played pretty well. I think the biggest difference is the week before. I'm a huge two-platoon guy. Like I always had this belief of fresher guys are better than two-way guys. So we try to get as many different bodies on the field as possible. So, the first week we went really small, and I was trying to shoot gaps in the pulling guards and do some things that I thought we would have give us a good chance. And then last week we decided to go really big. So a lot of our offensive linemen that don't really play defense as much played the whole game both ways, and they really, really showed up on both sides of the ball. When you're able to hold a team as good as Clark to 42 yards in the total game, I mean, that's an achievement. And that's all accredited to these kids. Us coaches, we do whatever we can to put them in the right position, but at the end of the day, we don't play. We don't go out there. We don't block. We don't throw the ball, catch the ball, run the ball. It's these kids, and they really bought in. We made some big drastic changes that some kids might not always agree with, but they trusted us. They bought in, and they played phenomenal. I couldn't ask for a better execution, but we are not your average 4 and 6, 8 seed. We played a tough schedule, and we've been toe to toe with everybody. And I think we're just starting to click at the right time.
I think one of the things that's really overlooked for high school football. A lot of people talk about, these kids should be doing this, be doing that. They're kids, and you can X and O's, do all the play design and everything you want to, but until they buy into what you want them to do, you're not going to be successful. And I think those kids really bought into you guys' game plan, and they were into it from the first whistle to the end of the game. They were right into the game the whole time. I mean, physical, like I've not seen Madison play in a long, long time.
You have to attribute it to these kids. I've done nothing different than any other coach that's been in Madison the last 20 years. Other than I really believe in these kids, and the work they put in the off season, the work they put in during the season, it's starting to pay off, and it's starting to click for them. So I can't say enough about the kids. It's hard to get kids to buy into different things and different systems, but they've really done a good job.
Especially these times, this day and age.
Yeah.
A lot of distractions. So there used to be distractions 30, 40 years ago, like it is now.
Yeah.
And that's a lot out there. And it goes to say a lot for you guys, the coaches, and all the players, for all the hard work you put into all year, keeping faith. Times you put a tough game like that, you get to win or go home, you can't feel it out. You guys deserve a lot of credit for that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. Sunday through Friday is pretty busy for us, but I don't think any of us would have it any other way. So.
Yeah, it's true. So let's talk about some of the all-district picks.
Yeah, we were 4 and 6, but we played a lot of teams really tough, especially in the district. So we had a really good turnout with the all-district team. You had first team all-district quarterback, Aaron Fincham, 2 years in a row. He was all-region last year. He was at like 1,800 total yards for the season, 20 touchdowns. So that's a big deal.
Let's talk about Aaron a little bit.
Yeah.
So my hat's off to the kid. I'm gonna tell you what he had to sacrifice, what he had to do for his team. You want to talk about what he did?
He's a phenomenal young man. So at Strasburg, Wyatt went down, and Wyatt's been on fullback all year. And Eli Myers plays fullback for us, and he's really good as well. But after the Clark game, we decided we needed to go a little bit bigger right there. Aaron's 6 foot 205. He's a big body. He's mean and aggressive. And right now, one of our biggest things is getting the ball in Jeremiah's hands. So, we moved him to fullback. He really bought in for his team, and he's done a phenomenal, selfless job. I mean, number 11 is a 4-year starter for Clark, middle linebacker. He's been all-state, all-district, all-region for at least 3 of those years, if not 4. And he just did a very good job of just getting a hat on a hat and opening holes. And Jeremiah's pretty special. He's gonna do some things when he sees open space. But you can't say enough about Aaron Finchel. He's a team player, and he loves his team and this family.
That is a prime example of what a team player is.
Yeah.
To have all those accolades, give it up for the good of the team. That's a lot.
You go back to the All District. You got William Dickey, who's phenomenal. He was All Region as a sophomore. Should have been All State, but that is what it is. A lot of that depends on how far you go usually. But in numbers-wise, stats-wise, he had the numbers to be an All-State kid. His numbers were better than some of the guys that got All-State. We really missed him last year. He played 1 or 2 games and he had a broken back.
I think, I would bet on him any day of the week for a 50-50 ball. He goes out.
It ain't 50-50 when you do it.
And what he told me was he was most proud of being the first team punter.
Yeah.
That's what he told me.
So he was first team all-district punter. His average was 42 yards a punt. He only punted 8 times this year. 42 yards a punt, which is really good for high school.
Yeah.
The craziest part about all that is he had 2 out of 8 that he shanked, and where one was 20 and one was 30. So his average, if you take that out, is closer, maybe over 50 yards a punt. So that's pretty impressive. I know he's a baseball kid, loves baseball. He could be a Division I punter if he wanted to be.
Yeah.
Then you got your offensive lineman. You had Jaden Lewis is our right tackle. He's 6'4", 270. He was first team all district.
Yeah.
And then Avery McLeod Settle was second team all district. He's our right guard. Individual accolades are great and all that, but all of our linemen are so good. You got Ryland Neal at center, who was all region, all state in prep leagues at Woodbury before he moved back. He's very deserving. Reagan Weekly at left guard, Davis Porter at left tackle. Stephon Turner is out wide in contrast with William Dickey on the other side. He was second team all district receiver, and Laban Carpenter, who's our tight end, but he had so many receptions that they kind of moved him to receiver in all district meeting because everybody else's tight ends pretty much blocked. So he was second team all district. So we got a lot of weapons offensively.
Yeah.
Our offensive coordinator Brendan's done a great job. We're explosive. We score a lot of points. We move the ball really well on really good defenses. Strasburg Central and Clark County and Luray, they're very tough. They're stingy defenses.
Yeah.
And to do some of the stuff we've done against them this year is should not go unnoticed. These kids have played really hard, and we didn't score a lot of points versus Strasburg and Central, but man, if we didn't move the ball all over the place, we just couldn't finish. But we
Also, you think back. It seems like it's been forever ago now, but the game against Stanton.
Yeah.
And
Stanton is another really good football team. They won their district.
Yeah.
And and I thought that was one of the games we really came out clicking, and it was never really close. I think they got within 14 a few times, but if you saw us, there was no doubt in my mind that if we get the ball, we're going to score. So.
Yeah. We'll start with the defense.
Yeah, defense. It's been a learning experience for us this year. We lost a lot of kids. We didn't know what all we had back, but 2 of our big contributors came back, and that's Devon Frazier and Paul Hutcherson, who you'll talk to soon. They're not the biggest guys in the world, but they're some of the toughest. They'll do anything that's asked of them. They're tough as nails. They're gonna get gritty. They're gonna make plays. And then to cap that off, we had a couple all district selections. Not so many because we weren't the best defensively all year, but we started to click last week. But you had Davis Porter was second team defensive line. You had Wyatt Tompkins was first team linebacker. Eli Myers was second team linebacker. Adam Johnson was second team defensive back. He's had a really good year. we kind of match him up man to man on your best receiver. He's played the Division I kid from Westmoreland. Thought he did a really good job there. The kid from Central, Barhona, is a really good receiver. I feel like he did a really good job versus him. But we played really well. I mean, can't forget what Jeremiah's done this year. He was first team all-district running back, offensive player of the year. 189 carries. I think he finished the season with 1546, 20 touchdowns. I mean, to tote the ball that many times says something, because he's not the biggest guy. He's 5'8" on a good day, 160 pounds. But he's special. He's special, and you get the ball in his hands, and you never know what's going to happen.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, I thought that he got better as the season went on. And he ran more physical as the season went on.
Yeah, I mean, I think, that's just attributed to believing in his team and, buying into the system. He's a special back, and he can do some things that other backs can't do. And, he's been really good for us the last 2 years. He broke his ankle last year, but played 6 games, had 1,100 yards. I mean, he was on his way to doing the same thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and bring in some players now. Let's start off with Devon Frazier, number 33. Have a seat, Devon. So, we talked to you before. We'll get your thoughts on the game last week. And first of all, your preparation for the game. How did you think you guys did on practice that week before preparing for class?
I think we did very good at practice. We were physical all practice or all week, and
yeah. So, what do you think about? How does that mean? What does that mean to you as a player?
Well, it means a lot because our season didn't go as planned as we had it planned, and we didn't play as good as we could and hit a lot of our potential. Yeah. But we sure let our potential out that game.
I know you guys were pretty pumped after the game. That was a bus ride home. It had to be wild.
Crazy.
Yeah, those are the things I'm going to tell you as a high school player that doesn't go and talk about enough. Some of the things you will remember 20 years from now. You'll remember that bus ride home in the Clark game, stuff like that. So that's awesome. Well, so what are you thinking about Buckingham this week?
I think Buckingham's a very good team, and like we lost to them before at the beginning of the season, but we're not the same team. And I think we have a good shot of beating them.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, thank you, Devon. I'll tell you what, for a man in a few words, he did an awesome job. Let's hope your dad can live up to what you did. All right, number 44, Paul Hutchinson. My son made me too. So, Paul, tell everybody a little bit about yourself. We haven't interviewed you yet.
I play linebacker and D-line. I'm 44.
And what year are you? You're a senior?
Yes.
You're a senior. So what has it been like for playing Madison County football? What's some of the memories that you would cherish the most?
My dad, he's a coach.
Yeah.
Beating Clark.
I think it's great. We always ask kids what they cherish the most. They always say beating Greene County. And now we got another thing we can top all that, beating Clark.
That's right.
So, I don't know if you realize this, but this is the first time Madison has beat Clark. Is it 21 games?
21 years.
21 years. Dude, you weren't even born 21 years ago. Can you believe that? Back in that, I was my prime 21 years ago. I know. I'll tell you. And I tell you, I've been to Clark a lot of times and come back pretty mad because we lost a lot of times. And I am just so happy for you guys, for you to see all the hard work you've put in finally pay off. I'm just so happy for you guys. So, tell us a little bit about the game. Is there anything that stands out to you about the game? I know you had 2 sacks.
Yeah.
2 sacks.
It was very loud.
Yeah.
It was hype. It was really nice.
That was great to see all the kids on the sidelines and everybody. I mean, they were into the game from start to the finish.
Yeah, you could hear them holding. You couldn't even hear them calling the play.
And I was watching on TV, and the score and the clock didn't work on the TV. I didn't know how much time was left in the game. But boy, when they finally put that final knee on everybody running on the field, I knew the game was over. So, what are you thinking about Buckingham this week? What all do you have to do to be successful against them?
We have to be tough. Keep our grit. You just gotta stay
Be
focused.
physical. Yeah, I think that's Buckingham's. They're really good, man. I'll tell you, it's probably one of the best. They're probably maybe the best team we played all year. And I know that we're going to build off that last win and be ready to come to play. They're ready. They're good. They're a good team. Thank you, Paul. All right. Next up, Mr. Mooney Frazier, assistant coach. Come on down.
High school right.
Hey, Mooney was coaching the last time we beat Clutch County 21 years. First year.
He's the only one.
I was on the team. Come on, Mike was on the team.
You were the team.
First year on the team. Tommy was on the team too.
Senior year.
Okay. Mooney, let's talk about. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
My name is Mooney Frazier. I've been coaching football for probably about since 2002, 2003, around there. You know, I'm a little older. My memory it goes a little bit. That's when I started coaching in high school. I had the pleasure of coaching with Mr. Dean and with Stewart and a number of other coaches that we've had here. But I'm happy now where I'm at with Coach Hunter.
Yeah. So you also coach youth football too for some
Yes,
years.
I coached for like 6 years. I started that when I was 18 years old.
When did you start coaching? You 15? 18?
18.
Okay. Start doing the math and figure out how old you are.
No need for that.
Okay. So, Mooney, I know this year your son being a senior. Let's talk about that. What's that mean to you? Be able to see him play.
Well,
his career?
the biggest thing is my son is very, very shy.
Yeah, not like you.
Me too. But to see him come out of his shell, to see, and a lot of it has to do with Coach Helmet. To see him grow from where he used to be to where he is now, it's a great experience.
Yeah, I know. He has really improved in the last 3 years. It's unreal how much he's improved.
He never played football. Well, he played once flag when he was younger, but he hasn't played football since he's been in, what, 9th grade, I believe he started?
Now, I got bad news for you, Mooney. He's a better ball player than you are.
That's all good.
He's got 1 touchdown. How many touchdowns?
Yeah, he's got a touchdown.
He had 2.
Oh.
Ooh.
1 up.
Dad called you out. You got to get another touchdown.
Yeah, he could have had more. Ask him about when I tried to throw him the ball on JV.
So, tell us about the game last week. What was that experience like?
Since I've been here, I think that is the biggest game in program history for myself of Madison. I know other teams won state and everything, but to hold them to 40-something yards total offense, where we dominated the offense and defensive line.
Yes.
It was a great sighting. I mean, it was beautiful to see them play every play with emotions and just going after and wanting more.
Yeah, I tell you what, that's got to be, to experience something like that as a coach is one thing, but to be able to do it with your son, that's something you'll never forget for the rest of your life.
It was kind of unreal.
Yeah, no kidding.
I was like, is this really happening? What's going to happen? What's bad going to happen?
I still
Because because it's our nature where we have a lead and somehow or another the ball don't bounce our way.
Yeah, that's been a lot that's happened over the years, you know. And I think it's we got to build off that win last week and bring it to Buckingham this week.
Yeah.
It's how can we handle success and make it turn into something positive?
So it's kind of hard to handle success when you haven't really experienced it.
Yeah.
So when you learn that you can experience it and you can take it in and you can still learn from being successful, that's what we need to do for the week coming up.
So be honest now. So what did you think about the game plan when y'all had the coaches meeting about this week? Aren't you changing up stuff? What'd you think?
We were all on board together.
Yeah. Coach Hillman does a great job with you guys. It's really neat to see not only the team close, being so close, but also the coaches being so close. And it's like one big family. And that's a tribute to Larry Hillman, I think.
Yeah, the referees think that we were really too close. Too close to being on the field.
Yeah. So, your thoughts about Buckingham this week? I know they're really, really good.
Buckingham is a very good program. We had the advantage of seeing them once this year. And I'm just waiting for the excitement.
Yeah.
I think we were preparing things and we're working hard to achieve a goal that we need to go after.
Yeah, I think it could be another benchmark for this program to be able to put out there. It'll be a tall order, but I think we got the guys who can do it. If they keep playing like they did with Tennessee last week, it's gonna be a tough fight for anybody.
We've said all year that we have a dominant team and we can be unstoppable. But we can say it all we want to. If the kids don't believe into it, then it's not gonna happen.
Right.
And I hope last Friday it opened their eyes up and it gives them something to believe in. So.
Well, thank you, Mooney, for coming out.
No problem.
I appreciate it, and let's give it up for Mooney Frazier. Everybody.
Nice to know you.
Yeah, I like that. Speaking of throwbacks, now we're going to get Mr. Moose Suits to come in. Now, if you ever know Moose Suits, he is one of the Madison County characters in the history of this county.
He's a legend.
He's a legend. His dad was, I loved his dad, Don. I mean, to go to the games and see him, I mean, he was something else. And he was a trip. And then also, his brother Greg was a Mountaineer great linebacker. Probably one of the best linebackers, if not the best linebacker Madison ever had. So, let's tell us a little bit about yourself.
Played a lot of football in Madison and won a lot of games in Madison. Watched a lot of football in Madison. Wasn't at the game Friday night, but I'll tell you, that's got to be the biggest win, biggest upset win in the history of Mountaineer football was Friday night at Clark. When I helped coach with Mooney and I helped coach with Larry some, and all we ever did was work the kids trying to get them strong enough to play Clark, because Clark's the benchmark. That's your benchmark of offensive line, defensive line. That's your benchmark. And what I've seen looks like we took men. We took men over and play them this time.
Yeah, that's awesome. So let's talk a little bit about your playing career. I believe you're the only player in the history of Madison football to have 2 state championship rings.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yep, got to play. I was a freshman on the 73 team, the first time we won state champion, and got to play with my brother who was a senior. They have been to the state championship twice. I got to watch it and see him lose twice, and his senior year and my freshman year is pretty special to win the state championship after you've seen him get so close twice. So close to get there the third time, and then had a couple years we didn't get back. And then my senior year, we won it again. So I did win in my freshman year and my senior year. Played with some great guys.
I tell you, Madison football back in the 70s and 80s was like no other. I mean, times were different then. There wasn't as much to do back then. That's all you had to do.
Right.
But describe these younger guys and tell them about what it was playing back then. I mean, the support you had.
The community support was unbelievable. And the difference between what was then and what is now, every kid wanted to play football. It was a winning program. Every kid wanted to play football, and that football program made a dip. And Larry had brought the program. He's brought the program back step by step by step. He had to go recruit kids. That program that got so low that he had to go recruit kids to play football in Madison County High School, which is unbelievable. From where we were to where he had to get started, it's pretty impressive and stuff.
Yeah. I believe we had what was our winning streak back then? Was it 50-some games?
55 games, yep. I was, should have been 56 when I was on that team that lost the game in Orange, 34-20. I played 4 years, and I can tell you the 3 teams we lost to. I can't tell you who all we beat, but I know the 3 we lost to because it hurt every time we lost a game. So first year lost to nobody. Second year in '74 we lost to Powhatan. Third year we beat Buckingham, and then played Bowling Green. We lost to them. We had our starting quarterback Mike Stiles. He was as good as he was in basketball. He was a tremendous football player and stuff. And then our senior year we lost to Orange, and that kind of set the bar that we need to do something special. So we won state my senior year, but this 55-game winning streak got stopped at Orange.
So, speaking of Buckingham, that was one of the reasons I wanted to ask you to come in tonight. Not only to talk about that, but I'll talk about Buckingham game. People don't realize this. Madison played Buckingham in the playoffs 49 years ago. I don't know what the date was, but it's pretty close.
Yeah.
Was it first round or second round?
Buckingham would have been first round.
First round.
We only had 3. We had
Right.
3 games to win 3 after regular season or state champion.
And that's another thing, too. Back then, it was only 3 classifications.
Yeah.
So it was even harder to win back then.
Yeah.
But Buckingham came in. They were undefeated.
Yep.
They had probably the best running back in their history and in the history of the state of Virginia that year. Was Billy the Horse Johnson, 6'1", 250 pounds, rushed for over 2,000 yards. And I can remember that night. I didn't play old. I was only 10 years old, but I know it was cold as the devil that night. It was at Albemarle High School.
Right.
You
Yep.
want to talk about that game a little bit?
Yep. We played back then you had to be 10-0 and 9-1 to get in the playoffs. And our last game of the season against Central Woodstock O'Brien, we lost there. We lost a starting quarterback, broke his leg there playing football, so we ended up having to get a quarterback ready, which is kind of wild with what Madison's done with the Wingate kid, getting him ready. And it's kind of like a similarity right there between the two, but you can't call any Wingate a second string quarterback. So I mean, you have a 1, now you got a 1A,
Yeah.
so it ain't much difference there.
That's right.
And we had to play that game without Mike done a lot of stuff on offense. He took care of the ball. They only let him throw the ball 6 or 7 times a game, so we run the ball. So we were going to run the ball against Buckingham anyway, try to keep it away from Billy the Horse, try to eat the clock up as much as we could. But we won that game 12-6. He did get up the sideline one time on us, and I didn't think it was much in the first half, but when he got up that sideline one time, I could see how good he was.
Went on to play for UNC for 4 years.
Yeah, played at UNC for 4 years. And yeah, he got to play with Lawrence Taylor the second year, so him and Lawrence Taylor got to play together.
Yeah, that's something. It's funny how things come around full circle sometimes with this rivalry with Buckingham. I mean, Madison started to play them in the regular season, which we didn't play them back then. It was only in the playoffs.
It was in them flew by them. Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the other. What is it? Some of your favorite memories as a Mountaineer player?
As a Mountaineer player, freshman year, coming up short, watching them come up short, winning the state championship, that was very special and stuff. 4 years never losing a football game on home turf. We took care of home turf. Never lost a game at home. And just the people you play with and the coach you play with. What Larry did Friday night was switching the lineup. Eddie Dean, he was a master at that. Just because a kid was all this and all that. He would put him somewhere to make the better of the team. And for Larry to get a quarterback to step in like the quarterback stepped in, and all them players step in to buy into what they're doing now, that shows you what kind of coaching staff you got in. They were talking about it at the end of the Clark game because my church, we do pizza and stuff. We got something called the fifth quarter. We do that after the game. And the coaches are already talking about next week. They was already talking about the switches and stuff. And you could tell all the coaches was in. Larry's got them all in. You can tell when a coaching staff is in and they're not in. And I've seen them grow as a coaching staff because I ain't sure they've been all in the whole time Larry's been coaching. I ain't talking about this year, but just to watch a coaching staff grow and the kids grow and stuff, on to be all in. You talk about that quarterback. How many quarterbacks, first team all district, all region, will go to fullback? Yeah. Y'all were talking about it, Larry. That's special. And just all these other kids, Larry, talking about 2 platoon players. That's something Eddie Dean did, 2 platoon. He believed in it. But when it was crunch time, win or go home, he rolled the dice. Carlton Johnson was just the greatest running back was ever on a football field. And he played defensive back in the state game. And for the other kids that's been playing to step back and not pout. They stepped back and they was on the sideline supporting the team. Y'all don't know. Fans are great, but when your own team support you, it's nothing like your own team. And that's kids that were playing the week before.
Yeah.
And they stand on the sideline supporting you. That's when somebody done bought into a program.
You're exactly right.
They done bought in.
So what does it mean to you back then to play football for Madison County?
That's what you did. That's what you did. Every game we went in, we expected to win. We never expected to lose a game, except Buckingham without Mike Stiles. We wasn't sure, wasn't 100% sure and stuff. But just like them going against Buckingham this week, I think Buckingham got a little physical on them second half out here. So we got 4 quarters, so we got to be a physical. When they pop us in the mouth, we got to pop them back. And that's always been Mountaineer football. That's always been Mountaineer football.
Yeah.
If you get busted in the mouth, you just bust back hard. That's what Mountaineer football is, and I think the coaches got them.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think Madison's a sleeping giant.
Yeah.
If the rest of the district has been, hey, is Madison ever going to get it together? Well, I think.
They're not going to sneak up on nobody now.
No.
They're not. When you beat Clark, you ain't sneaking up on nobody.
I think they're going to serve warning to everybody else in the district and the region that Madison County, this could be the game that we're back.
Yeah,
and that program is going to be more successful as we go along. Thank you, Moose. Anything else you want to?
Yeah, I want to talk about Larry. When Larry first started coaching out there, my church has a John 3:16 ministry, and we weren't allowed to be on anywhere inside the ball field or nothing. And the young farmers let us on the young farmers ground, so we started doing John 3:16 from the outside, and we had kids come by and would go hand these armbands out. One of them was a sacred kid. He would go in there and hand them out. We couldn't do that also, but Larry got us where we could come and speak to the kids about Jesus on Thursday nights. It's called Jesus Time Out. And not just speak to them, it's the way the kids listen to you, and the way they shook your hand after. So he's had them buy into football. My pastor Jeff Tucker and stuff, he's got them buy into Jesus. So they done bought into Jesus also, did. And just thankful for I know it's not easy for him to let us do that, but I've seen his growth and just opening the doors for us. And we're so thankful, and it means so much to be able to speak to these kids. And all these kids are great kids. They're absolutely great kids. Yep, they're great kids, and they sing "Victory in Jesus" after the game, and we just hope they start singing it win or lose, because your victory in Jesus, that's a game, and you're going to have victory in Jesus whether you win or lose a football game. So just so thankful for the coaching staff and each and every one of them. Just so proud of them.
Yeah, you could tell Larry's been a big influence on those kids.
I was 2-time state championship, but the most important champion I am is I'm a champion for Christ, and I want all the kids to learn who Jesus Christ is.
Well, thank you, Moose. Appreciate it.
Thank
Thank you
y'all.
so much. All right, Larry, come on back. So, after all that, let's talk about Buckingham.
Yeah, Buckingham's a very good program. Seth's done a tremendous job down there. You know, they're in this spot every year. They've been in this type of situation, this type of game since I've been here. So at least the last 4 years. I'm pretty sure they, were there before that. So I'm excited. I'm excited to go on this adventure with this family that that we have all created, and see what happens. One of our biggest thing is when you're talking about faith and talking about Jesus, he already knows what's going to happen. We talk about that all the time. Our story's already been written.
Yeah.
Right? We've been telling them since day one. Our story's been written. We're reading it. Right? We're reading it. So.
Yeah. I think the Buckingham program is probably a good benchmark where you want to be our program be at.
Yeah, I
year
mean,
in, year out.
I've had a lot of phone calls and messages this weekend. I think what sticks out the most is everybody tries to give me credit for all this, but it's not me. It's my coaches, kids, at this community, everybody's bought in to one common goal.
It's even the parents, parents being supportive of the kids too.
I'll say it like I said earlier, I've never thrown a pass for this team. I've never blocked for Jeremiah Brown. I've never, been a linebacker and tackled for these guys. It's them. The only thing I've done is, believe in them and bring people that care about this program, this community together. And can't say enough about them. My coaching staff is top notch. We got a good staff. We got great kids. How many coaching staffs across the state have had, 80, 90% of us played here? That's pretty special. A lot of these teams across the state in Northern Virginia, the beach, they're getting big name football coaches from, everywhere. To come back and coach somewhere where you played that means so much to you, and bring people that it means just as much. It's special. I got calls and texts all the time when I took this job. Why are you leaving Eastonview? When I was at Eastonview, I was 49-1 in the regular season. We pretty much knew we were winning every week. We won a district championship every year I was there. We won region championships, and it was awesome. I wouldn't change it for anything, but I feel like that was part of my book, right? That was part of, it was already written, all right? I learned a lot of things there, and to come back to a place and, coach some football and have fun and try to restore something so special that means the world to you. It's kind of like, it sounds, corny or cliche, but it's kind of like a book. When I took over this place, it was in shambles. 13 kids on the roster.
Wow.
You had a D1 kid transferring out for all good reasons. We didn't know if we'd have a team. So when he came to me as a man and said, "Coach, I'm leaving," I shook his hand and said, "I understand, and I wish you the best." We didn't know. I didn't know. My first day of workouts, we had 3 kids. 3 kids.
Yeah.
We had more coaches out there on the practice field than we had players. So, we're not where I want to be as a program. I think last Friday was very big for us. And, I'll cherish that moment for a long time for many reasons. The guys I coach with, the kids I coach, you got to remember, Moody coached me. I played with Tommy, played with Mike, I played with Brandon. I've grown up around their kids. My kids call Uncle Mike, his kids, treat me like I'm their uncle. So like it's all full circle. It's a lot of fun and it's a lot of things that you kind of would dream of. But as a program, we're not where I strive to be. I think we're headed in the right direction.
Yes.
But there's a lot of untapped potential and there's a lot of opportunity left out there for us. So.
I think it's nothing like, you can go all right around the country, but it's nothing like coming home.
Yeah.
It's like you go on vacation somewhere to get back, it's nothing like coming home.
There's definitely not. And this year, there's been some bumps in the road, and there's been a week or two where I question, am I the right guy for this job? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? But I think when you care about something so much, you try to take all the weight and put it on your shoulders. But at the end of the day, I got to realize that there's people around me that care and love me just as much to help me. So, we've done a good job, but hopefully we're just on the road to where we want to be.
So that leads us to next week's game. Fans, we need to come out and support you guys.
Need everybody there.
I know it means a lot to you as coaches, but especially the kids.
Oh yeah.
To see the stands full. We keep talking about the glory years of Madison, about everybody coming to the games. Well, let's do that again.
Yeah.
Let's stop talking about it. Let's do it. Let's go there and support these kids. They deserve it.
I was going back to talking about my coaching career. As good as we were at HBU, and we were very good. The atmosphere and the environment that the Madison County football game has, even away games, it's second to none. Like Foster's done a really good job of making me realize where we are getting to. We'll be coming out of the helmet, the fireworks will be going. And Foster will be like, just take a moment, take a breath, and look around. Look at this place. It's a lot of fun. We got one of the best atmospheres in the state definitely in the district, if not the state of Virginia.
Well, you have an all-state announcer too.
Yeah. He's all right. That guy. He sucks.
Lucky coming back.
So, just want everybody to come out this week and support these kids. It means the world to them. I mean, we must remember, I know the people around the community, they criticize their thing. These are teenagers.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, man, they're going to make mistakes. Heck, I'm almost 60 years old, I make mistakes every day. But we really need to support the kids and come out this week.
Yes, sir.
All right, anything else?
That's it. Thank you for doing this, and thank you, Moose, and thank everybody, my players, my coaches, and Ronnie. He's done a lot for me. Thank all of you.
This is going to be the best show we've had yet by far.
Pretty good, yeah, pretty good one.
All
It's
right.
all attributed to the Moose hoops.
You're exactly right. This brought the energy tonight. And thank you, Moose, for coming. I just called him this morning.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And he goes,
Late notice, huh?
well, I'm
It's
sorry.
good. It's all good. Mountaineer football.
That's right.
Mountaineer football.
But I do want to thank you guys for doing this all year. It's been a lot of fun. I think it's something we should continue and get more coaches involved because I think people enjoy it.
We ain't done yet.
No, we ain't done yet. But I'm just.
So, thank y'all.